going on, dudes and dudettes? So yeah, Taj Washington was part of a pretty nice stat, top 5 overall in most receiving yards after a 20-plus yard reception, which is pretty cool. But also, Rome Odunze, the Washington wide receiver, was number 1. And like I'm saying right now, if Marvin Harrison Jr. is not there to draft for the Chargers, I'm kind of more believing now that they should go after this guy, because Harbaugh has always been able to get kind of anybody and find a certain trait at the tight end position and make them into a worthy enough blocker and receiver of the ball. But, to get a tight end that high at number 5 is, I know I've loved Brock Bowers for a while, but I don't know if they could go with that. But to get a guy and Odunze, who reminds me of a Mike Evans with the moves of like a Keenan Allen already, then, the route running ability, then I think you go after that type of guy, especially when you're most likely going to be cutting Mike Williams, your other receiver, to save some money in this free agency coming up. But yeah, like I had mentioned before, Taj Washington of USC being in the top 5, making big plays down the field, even though he's a slot and smaller wide receiver under 6 foot, so he's definitely going to be selected a lot higher than I thought I believed, 5th round. So we'll see where he goes. And then when it came to a bit of other news, yes, USC is making a high priority in Lawndale local linebacker in the 2026 class, Samu Moala. I believe even Lincoln Riley said he's going to make it, his mission to make him not want to come to USC and be a part of the USC Trojans. So yeah, he's definitely going to be recruiting him hard, and he's a major priority, as they're saying, for that 2026 class. And I love that they're going after really talented, especially linebackers, because that's definitely the spine of your defense. I know a lot of people talk about offensive line and defensive line, but if you have really good linebackers who can secure tackles out there, kind of like the Patrick Willises and all those type of stuff, Luke Kuechly, then you definitely have a really good player on your hands. So hopefully he will turn out something of those major NFL legends. And then, yes, a lot of the women's basketball has been pretty good as of late. They did beat ASU the other day, 81-63. Juju Watkins had 31 points as well, so that was a nice victory for them heading into the weekend, especially against cross-state rival in ASU. But yeah, sadly, the men's did lose to Stanford over the weekend pretty badly, 68-99. So once again, I'm not sure how long Coach Andy Einfeld is going to last this season, but yeah, it was a pretty bad loss, especially against a Stanford team that isn't as great and, as highly talented as USC this year, especially with Isaiah Collier back after that Cal game, which they lost as well the other day prior to this. So not sure, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see as usual with them. But the women's did play again yesterday as well, playing against Arizona, and got that victory, 81-64. Player of the game was Kayla Padilla with 15 points, 7 assists, and 1 block. And Juju Watkins had her 9th 30-point game, which is the most in Division I as a freshman, which is pretty cool. And she was named to her 12th Pac-12 Freshman of the Week, which is, I don't know if it's tied, or I'm pretty sure it's already been a record, but at least now she has matched her jersey number at number 12, which is always cool. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the last, especially if she's averaging 25 to 30 plus points at least one of the 2 games in every week. So yes, congrats to the women's side. They're doing really good, still staying in the top 10. I think they should be bumped up a little bit just because of how good they have been. But yes, they're still stuck in the top 10, so hopefully that is good enough for a 2 or 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. And I believe this offensive lineman is in the 2025 class. His name is Mario Nash Jr. He's a 4-star. He did recently put USC in his top 10. I don't think it's a final 10 yet, but at least they are on the list for one of the better offensive linemen in the next couple of classes. I will try to remember which one he is the next time when he cuts his list down, and hopefully USC is on there as well. And then the Carolina Panthers of the NFL are hiring a USC analyst in Will Harriger as a new quarterback coach for them, which, like I'm saying, come and work at USC, whether you're, one of the analysts, a grad assistant, and you're definitely going to be moving up pretty soon. Because I remember talking about this guy within the last year or two once Lincoln Riley was hired, and then all of a sudden he's already getting an NFL job too. So that's looking pretty good for Lincoln Riley and being part of his, especially USC coaching tree, to where you're there for a couple years and you get bumped up to another regular, defensive coordinator position or something like that, a regular, position to coach, and then eventually you'll become into the NFL or be a main coordinator as well in college. So either way, it's looking pretty good for those guys in their future once they jump on to his staff. So looking forward to seeing who else ends up getting a nice career bump. And then, I think the other day we did find out that 8 Trojans were invited to the NFL Combine. Don't know exactly how many are going to select to go and officially work out. I know quarterbacks, it's either they just throw and they don't really do anything else, and I know Caleb would probably want to show off some more of his skills against the other guys, but a lot of tough guys even recently have not done it. But obviously I'm pretty sure Caleb got it, Brendan Rice got the invitation, Taj Washington, Kalen Bullock, Solomon Byrd. I can't really think of the other 3 right now. I'm kind of blanking, but overall, we'll see how many of these guys officially get there and hopefully be able to watch them next month in March for the NFL Draft Combine. So PFF recently did the highest graded transfers according to the running back position in college, especially Division I this year, and USC's Jaquavius Woody Marks was at number 6 overall in that top 10 list. So obviously they did get a really good player. They were trying to get some of those other guys a bit ahead of him, but he still ended up with a really good running back, in my opinion, so hopefully he will be able to help out Miller Moss this year for USC and going into the Big Ten. And speaking of that, I believe it was Vegas or Bet Online, whoever, recently did put out a wins total for USC and their football team for next year, and it was at 7.5. And I know it was probably higher last year just because they had high expectations and they definitely won a bit more than they did. I think even that first year, they were probably projecting that USC to win like 5 to 6 games, and they definitely won like 11 that year. But a down year last year, so this was kind of where they ended up like 7 or 8 wins. So I don't know. Going through the schedule, I think they could definitely get there, because when you're starting off against LSU, that's pretty much a pick 'em game as they call it, so it's 50-50. So I'll just have that in the tie column. Utah State, that should be a victory. So 1-0-1. Gets Michigan, that's another one where depending how many guys they're able to take away and whoever leaves that team, that could be a tie. So I'll just go 1-0-2. Wisconsin, I think they could get that victory. So 2-0-2. Minnesota, another victory. Penn State is kind of up in the air as well, depending on how good they are. So I'll go 3-0-3 right now, the record. Maryland, that should be a victory. So 4. Rutgers, 5. Washington, they lost a lot of people and bringing in a new coach, so I'll say 6. Nebraska should be 7. UCLA, definitely 8. And Notre Dame, I mean, depending how healthy Riley Leonard is at that time, the ex-Duke transfer quarterback, we'll see, because he's already having surgery and all that. But yeah, that should be a pretty good matchup to end the season at home against a rival, especially like Notre Dame and UCLA back-to-back. But I think they could still squeak out another win or 2 over that 7. I know there's a lot of games in there that are 50-50, so if you win a couple of those, then, you're bumped up to, 10 or 11 as well. So, yeah, that should definitely help them out going into their, the hopes of getting into the Big Ten championship. And then, like I said, there's going to be a 12-team playoff this year. So as long as you don't lose that many games and you try to win or at least lose closely to some of the better teams on your schedule, then you probably should be able to get into no matter what. They should favor you in those matchups. So we'll see towards the end of the year how that ends up going for USC and their Big Ten hopes. And then, apparently the other day was my 12-year Twitter, now they call it X, anniversary, which I didn't even know I was on there that long. I kind of just go on there to get more of my sports stuff now, because Bleacher Report, when I used to get screenshots from there is kind of like up and down. I still kind of go through like the Google search, or the Chrome search, whatever it is. But a lot of times I do go on there, follow the accounts of the teams, get the stories there, and a lot of people put up rumors and other stories like that, or sometimes they break more news on there as well. That's kind of what I use it more for, or some dumb, funny videos that are there, and I will repost them on my feed because I think they're funny, or I'll like them. And there's sometimes movie news on there as well, and show news that I like, so I kind of stay on there. So check it out. I'm on there. It should be like Steven Carlos 2 or something like that. And then, yeah, the other day was Coach Krzyzewski's birthday. Or it might be today, actually. So, yeah, congrats to him. Definitely a well-deserved career, well-deserved retirement that he's going through right now. But, yes, definitely very happy that he was our coach at Duke for most of my Duke watching career so far. So, yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.